When I would travel abroad, which I often do, I found that when I asked international audiences in the Middle East, in Latin America, in Europe, and much of Asia, why they thought the U.S. had a pro-Israel foreign policy, the answer that almost always came back is basically because the Jews run America. I mean, that simple. And I would point out things like, well, by Jews running America, are you talking about Paul Wolfowitz? Yeah. Are you talking about George Soros? Yeah. Well, Paul Wolfowitz and George Soros agree on nothing. And so this ability to spin a conspiracy sort of theory that does not bear any real relationship to what we see on the ground, but which is informed by anti-Semitic tropes that are 1,000 years and old, of secret machinations, of Jews coordinating their activities in ways that other people don't do. You know, I always think that people that believe that just don't know that many Jews. Jews are probably the hardest people, one of the hardest people in the world to try to get a group of Jews on the same page about anything. But again, some of this belief that there is kind of a conspiracy of the elders of Zion is far more widespread than you would like, and you find it, you know, you'd like to think, oh, it's just ignorant people who think this, but actually I've been in all kinds of diplomatic sessions and spoken with people who are, you know, very high up in their various countries, and sometimes the crudest forms of conspiracy theory have their hold even over very sophisticated minds. Now, I actually believe that anti-Semitism is a kind of a mental disease. That is, it prevents the sufferer from understanding the world, because you see a Jew in the picture and you stop asking questions. But somebody who thinks, for example, that the Jews control finance, this person means that person has no idea how the financial system works. Right? That instead of understanding what banking and credit are all about and how resources are allocated in a capitalist society, this person superimposes this crude, caricatured idea of Jewish influence. It disables them from understanding the world around them. Or that Jews control the media. Or that the Jews, that phrase you always, the Jews control politics, again, means you simply do not understand how the laws that govern your life are written, or the political forces that are active in your society. So in some ways, I'm hoping that maybe this will help anti-Semites overcome this and have a more accurate picture of the world. I spoke at CUFI, Christians United for Israel, the other day, and it was astonishing to see how this group of people had such a sort of, while in some ways their views on foreign policy are maybe not uber sophisticated, can we say, yet their understanding of the place of Jews in American society was far clearer than many intellectuals and diplomats that I meet in the US and abroad. And they also, there's a verse in the scriptures, book of Genesis, that they often quote, God saying to Abraham, I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. It does seem to me that anti-Semitism carries a bit of a curse in it, that those who fall for this are then blinded to understanding the political, social, and economic forces around them. It's rare that you see a curse so elegantly expressed.